Take a seat for a second, please. I will call the reorganization meeting of the Madison Borough Council to order. Can I have a statement of Open Public Meetings Act?
In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of the meeting of the council was provided by transmitting a copy of the meeting notice to the Madison Eagle and the Morris County Daily Record, posting a copy on the bulletin board at the main entrance of Borough Hall, and filing a copy in the office of the clerk, all on December 13, 2024. Copies of said notice were made available to members of the general public.
And roll call, please.
Mayor Conley?
Here.
Ms. Ehrlich? Here. Mr. Landrigan?
Here.
Mr. Range?
Here.
Mr. Harlan-Pudis?
Here.
Mrs. Honohan?
Here.
Mr. Forte?
Here.
Ask all please rise for invocation. I call up Pastor Carol Howard, Presbyterian Church of Madison. Color guard. I have Jimmy Rojak from the Scout Troop 25. Please come forward and lead us in the pledge. Spotlight kids to sing the national anthem, please.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
You may be seated. Part of our tradition as reorganize is not to have the mayor sing, so don't worry, but to recognize some of our longtime volunteers who are stepping down from the respective boards. I don't know if they are in attendance right now. Kate Bartley from Library Trustees. She served from 2020, 2014 for 5 years, so let us thank Kate. I don't see John Morris, who has just completed his second stint on the Downtown Development Commission, serving 6 years, and so we'll recognize him at a future meeting. And then Frank Iannarone, who served on Madison Alliance Addressing Substance Abuse from 2010 through 2014. So thank these three volunteers for serving. We have a couple of special guests here, and I will, as I announce them, if you want to come up and say a few words, please do so. State Senator Anthony Bucco, representing us in our legislative. And we have Assemblywoman Ora Dunn Also, do you want to come up and say a couple? Thank you for all your support in Trenton for us. Thank you. And representing the county, we have the County Sheriff, Jim Gannon.
I'd like to say Happy New Year and a special shout out to
Thank you, sir. And today, Commissioner, and tomorrow, Commissioner Director. And tomorrow, about 6 o'clock, I believe, Typhoon Celine from the neighboring Chatham County. I also see in the audience, Council Member from Chatham Borough, Justin Strickland. Thank you, Justin. Thank you for being here. So at this moment, I would have the great honor to introduce Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill to come up and say a few words and then go right into our oath of office.
Thank you. So I will echo everyone in wishing you all a really happy and wonderful new year. And I just want to take a moment as we're getting ready to swear people in to thank all the public servants in the room, all of our council members, our mayor, our police officers, our sheriff, all the members, our commissioners, our senator, our assemblywoman, all of the people that have really answered the call of duty to serve right now. These are tumultuous times. They're not easy times to be in public office, and to see new people coming to the fore again and again, ready to serve our community here in New Jersey, I think is really so moving to me, and at no time more moving than when we read the oath of office. So without further ado, we will do that.
Okay. And I'd like to call up Eric Range.
Okay, so raise your right hand. I've gotten this backwards already this year. So you're young. And repeat after me. I, Eric P. Range,
I, Eric P. Range,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully,
that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all the duties
perform all the duties
of council member of the Borough of Madison,
Council Member of the Borough of Madison,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same,
and
to the governments
to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
And I'd like to call up Melissa Honohan. As soon as we sign to make that official. Okay, do we? Mikey sign it.
Okay, raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Melissa Honohan,
I, Melissa Honohan,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully, impartially,
impartially,
and justly
and justly
perform all of the duties
perform all of the duties
of council member of the Borough of Madison,
of council member of the Borough of Madison,
according to the best of my ability.
according to the best of my ability.
I further solemnly swear
I further solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and that I will bear true faith
and allegiance
and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the governments
and to the governments
established in the United States
established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people.
So help me God.
So help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
I know you've got a crazy schedule, so I know you have to skip out shortly, but we wanted to give you a gift from Madison. History pictures. There was
Oh,
ironworks,
look at
and this is
this.
a Army Navy. We were recognized for the effort during the war.
Wow,
right
this
here
is
in Madison.
gorgeous.
And we didn't have a chance to frame this, but it says Navy 31, Army 13.
Thank you, Mayor. As I've said, you know, the people of New Jersey have maybe had a tough year, and they all were real thrilled, I think.
Yes.
To
Yes.
see, maybe except at Picatinny Arsenal, but everywhere
right,
else.
yes.
Everywhere else. Thanks, Mayor.
While the seats have not changed, we will do an official roll call once again. Here?
Here. Mr. Landrigan?
Here.
Mr. Range?
Here.
Mr. Harlem-Pudis?
Here.
Ms. Honohan?
Here.
Mr. Forte?
Here.
Welcome all. Thank you for coming out in mid-afternoon, the second day of the year. Before I get to the comments, I do want to take a moment to have us remember President Jimmy Carter, who truly led by example, not only as president, but his many decades after. And also let us remember those who were senselessly killed on New Year's Eve in New Orleans. Let's take a moment. Thank you. I want to thank one of our newest residents, Pastor Carol Howard of Madison Presbyterian Church, for her invocation. Again, welcome to Madison. And the Honor Guard from the Madison Police Department for the presentation of colors. And a big thank you to the Spotlight Kids for singing the national anthem. They impressed us. I see the friends of Drew Forest here. They impressed us so much back in December with the annual Drew Forest Holiday Carol, we definitely had to invite them back. So thank you for coming back. And a welcome to all of you attending in person and those watching from home, and a special welcome to the family and friends of Eric Range and Melissa Honohan as you start your new terms. And Melissa, your first full term now. And this year, it's interesting, we are not saying farewell to anyone, nor welcoming anyone new to the table, as the Council of 24 will take on the challenges of 2025. And I want to thank Congresswoman Mikey Sherrill for your comments and doing the honor of the oath of office. As I just mentioned, I know it is a very busy time of year for you. There's some big city about midway down the coast you need to get to soon, so we greatly appreciate you stopping by. And more importantly, we appreciate your work on behalf of Madison, especially with the grants for our passive home affordable housing that we will cut the ribbon on sometime later this year, and look forward to having you there. And of course, supporting the purchase of the Drew Forest. And your work has not only been important to Congressional District 11, but also for our great state, working so hard for everyone in our state, and also your work on both sides of the aisle, doing the best for our country. So thank you. Yesterday, my wife and I joined the common New Year's tradition of ordering Chinese food. You'll see where this is going in a second. But I've noticed an interesting trend that my fortune cookie has been eerily timely. So my fortune cookie yesterday said, "Your words have the power to encourage and inspire those around you." Now that's a lot of pressure. So to start off, for inspiration, Borough Clerk Liz Osborne had printed out the minutes from the 1925 reorganizational meeting, so that was 100 years ago. And the minutes did not provide much inspiration, as Mayor Frank Cook's comments were not captured. It only said that his address was received with much applause. That's just more pressure for my 14th annual message here. But I'm going to use the same theme as last year, which was unfinished business. In 2024, we saw great progress on this business, but also a few major items still on our list. In October, we cut our ribbon on the accessible playground at Dodge Field. This project was funded through multiple grants and became a reality through the passion of former Councilwoman Deb Cohen, who is sitting in the back there. Deb, thank you for your work on that. We often say with pride that we are a welcoming community. Our new playground reinforces this commitment so that those with disabilities can enjoy playing alongside with their friends. And since its opening, we certainly have been welcoming families from other communities at Dodge Field, another great project in Madison. And just before the kickoff of the holiday shopping season, and just under the wire, we opened the reconstructed Cook Avenue parking lot. The parking lot not only took care of an area long overdue for attention, but it demonstrated a few of our commitments, including our commitment to safety for pedestrians with the reduced curb cuts and more sidewalks in the parking lot, a commitment to inclusion with more handicapped parking spaces, a commitment to sustainability with rain gardens to recapture some of the rainwater for aquifer recharge, and our commitment to be putting our best possible image forward of the beautiful parking lot with plantings that will show their glory in the spring and the historic lamps that will be lighting it very soon. And in November, we were once again recognized as a mid-sized sustainable champion. And I was recognized with the Mayor Art Ondish Leadership Award. This award, as stated, recognized my leadership in Madison's success in creating a sustainable future. What it really recognizes is the work of the volunteers and staff, and I just get the credit, so thank you all. Municipalities across the state look to Madison for ideas in creating a sustainable future. As Councilman Justin is here, Chatham even said, you know, we're going to try to match Madison, but from now we'll just keep taking their lead and following. So if we can inspire others, we have done our job. You know, the federal commitment for reversing climate change may be diminished in the coming years, but Madison will continue to lead the way, showing that by working at the local level, we can make a difference nationally as we reduce our footprint with or without the wind in our sails from the federal government. And of course, we have a few items left on our list from last year. First and foremost is saving the Drew Forest, and while also supporting Drew University, which is so important to Madison. As we approach the holidays, we announced an agreement on a term sheet. While the final agreement was not wrapped up under our Christmas tree, we have made great progress. We are working diligently on converting the terms to a contract, and while I have no new news to share today, rest assured we are making progress. Progress that wouldn't be possible without friends, and that is both with a capital F and lowercase f. And in the first quarter, we should be going out to bid on the renovation of the east wing of Hartley Dodge Memorial, fully utilizing this building for the first time since the police and fire department moved out well over a decade ago. And just a year ago, we closed on the purchase of what was the Masonic Lodge, is now the Heller Center. We are working on plans that will restore the building as it's about to celebrate its 200th anniversary. And very appropriate as we had Pastor Howard here This was the former Presbyterian Church in Madison. The renovation will give us a new senior and community center. This is made possible through the generous grant from Martin Heller, along with support from Morris County Historic Preservation. I also stated last year that 2025 would be the year that we would see the reconstruction of Waverly Place. Well, we're going to push that a little bit. You know, coming off of the Cook Avenue parking lot project, we have pushed this to 2026 so that we can avoid downtown disruptions in consecutive years. This will give us more time to review and revise the plans to best meet the town center for today and for years to come. And I can't speak about 2024 without mentioning drones. And hopefully my comments, you will hear the word drone as a noun and not a verb. Just checking if you got that. Anyway, with all the attention on drones over the past 6 weeks serve as a demonstration of the challenges we face today. Yes, there were sightings of unregistered drones whose purpose is unknown, but there are also many sightings that were manned aircraft or legitimate drones. Both show the challenges that we face today. Technology, moving so quickly, whether it's AI or drones or other tools that can be used for good or bad. In order to manage in today's environment, we must be diligent by reporting what we see, and we must protect all by working with local to federal officials. And certainly the past 6 weeks has also shown we must sort through the confusion and frenzy that can be caused by drones or anything else that happens on social media. So with that, as we start 2025, we have many great opportunities and many great challenges, but rest assured, Madison is ready. So happy and healthy New Year to all.
How much applause is the minutes going to reflect for the mayor?
Thankfully, there is not an applause meter in 1925, so we'll say much thank you for. And on that note, I will ask for a motion for council president for 2025.
I move that we nominate Rachel Ehrlich as council president for 2025.
I second that motion.
Unanimous voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, Rachel. A motion for the adoption of the bylaws for 2025.
Mayor, I move that we adopt the bylaws of 2025.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'd like to make the following announcements to council standing committees for the year 2025, requiring council confirmation. For Finance and Borough Clerk, Chair Rachel Ehrlich, Vice Chair Eric Range. Public Works and Engineering, Chair Eric Range, Vice Chair Melissa Honohan. Public Safety, Chair Robert Landrigan, Vice Chair Rachel Ehrlich. Utilities, Chair Tom Howard-Plutis, Vice Chair Robert Landrigan. Community Affairs, Chair Melissa Honohan, Vice Chair John Forte. And Health, Chair John Forte, Vice Chair Thomas Howard-Plutis.
Mayor, I move the confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to make the following appointments to serve in official capacity, all also subject to council confirmation. Borough Attorney Matthew Giacobbe. Housing Officer Michael Pelessier. Zoning Officer Dennis Harrington. Deputy Zoning Officer Daniel Buckaloo.
Mayor, I move confirmation of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'd like to make the following appointments not subject to council confirmation. Environmental Commission for a 3-year term through December 31st, 2027. Corinne Bowen, regular member. Bridget Daly, regular member. 2-year term through December 31st, 2026. Deanna Schmidt, alternate 1. And 1-year term through December 31, 2026. That should be 2025. Claire Whitcomb, Chair, Ann Huber, Planning Board Rep, and Bridget Daly, Shade Tree Management Board Rep. And also the following associate members: Paulette Preskus, Kate Dugan and Trina Malik. And also for 1-year term through December 31st, Eric Range, Council Liaison. And the following to the Historic Preservation Commission, 4-year term through December 31st, 2028, Adrian Novak, Class C regular, Jill Rhodes, Class C regular, Tyler Merson, Class A. And 1-year term through December 31, 2025, John Forte, Council Liaison. And also to the Planning Board, 4-year term through December 31st, 2028, Patricia Coyle, Class 4 member. And we'll ask for a motion to appoint Eric Range as Council Liaison to the Planning Board.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, I'd like to make the following appointments requiring council confirmation. Board of Education, as the Council Liaison, Robert Landrigan. Chamber of Commerce Liaison, Melissa Honohan. Historian, Scott Spelker. Housing Authority Liaison, Rachel Ehrlich. Joint Meeting, Finance Personnel Committee, Rachel Ehrlich as Finance Personnel Committee Chair, or so both to the board. I'm new at this job, bear with me. Joint Meeting, Finance Personnel Committee, Rachel Ehrlich, Finance and Personnel Committee, Thomas Hamanputis, Finance and Personnel Committee. Joint Municipal Court, Robert Landrigan and Rachel Ehrlich as members. Museum of Early Trades and Crafts as liaison, Eric Range. Madison Area YMCA Council Liaison, John Forte. Shared Services Committee, Mayor Robert Conley, Robert Landrigan, Councilman Robert Landrigan and Councilman John Forte. And to Whippany River Watershed Action Committee, Liaison Council President Rachel Ehrlich.
I move approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I'd like to request that Council President Ehrlich announce the following mayor appointments, these boards requiring council confirmation.
To the Board of Health for a 2-year term through December 31st, 2026, Patrice Paolella. And for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, John Forte, Council Liaison. To the Climate Action Committee, a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, the following Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee members: Peter Freed, Mary Ellen Hennessy Jones, and Kathleen Cacavalli. Madison Environmental Commission member Kirsten Wallenstein, and I will serve as Council Liaison for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025. To the Community Garden Advisory Committee, a 3-year term through December 31st, 2027. Jeffrey Anderson, Alyssa Koch-Kimmerer, Arlene Lloyd, Jennifer Marcotte, and Charles Van Buskirk. To an unexpired 3-year term through December 31st, 2025, Brent Filippi and Katie Sutton. To a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Thomas Hamanputis as Council Liaison. Can I move the foregoing appointments if I just announced them? Well, I move the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right. Councilman Landrigan, please announce the following mayor appointments.
Complete Streets Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2025. Mayor ex officio Robert H. Conley. Public Safety Council Liaison Robert Landrigan. Engineering Council Liaison Eric Range. And Assistant Borough Engineer Dennis Harrington. Director of Public Works Robert Duffy. Madison Police Representative Captain Joseph Longo. Board of Education Representative. Public School Representative John Eschman. Director of Business Development Lisa Ellis. Sustainable Madison member Kathleen Cacavalli. Resident Paul Daly. Resident Doug Willis. Downtown Development Commission, 3-year term through December 31st, 2027. Jim Hollenbeck, merchant, landlord, and owner. Christine Kozakowski, merchant, landlord, and owner. Suzanne Whitehorn, at-large representative, Board of Education rep. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Melissa Honohan, Council Liaison. Library Trustees, 5-year term through December 31st, 2029, Linda Sawyer, Trustee. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Maureen Byrne, as alternative to the mayor.
I move approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
Just for clarification, the Board of Education rep is by title. The name will be filled in after the reorganization. All in favor?
Aye.
Will Mr. Range please announce the following appointments?
For the Local Emergency Planning Council for 2025, Mayor Robert H. Conley, Council Liaison Robert Landrigan and Rachel Ehrlich, Administrator Raymond M. Cody, Assistant Borough Administrator and CFO James Burnett, Assistant Borough Engineer Dennis Harrington, Construction Official Russ Brown, Director of Public Works Robert Duffy, Electric Utility Superintendent Vince Patty, Fire Chief Kyle Wickman, Health Officer Megan Avalone, Auxiliary Police Samuel DeMarzo, Sewer Superintendent Chris Manick, OEM Coordinator Police Chief John Mitcha, OEM Deputy Coordinator and Public Information Officer Captain Joseph Longo, OEM Assistant Coordinator Mike Chagru, and Public Information Michael Pelissier. And School Resource Officer Peter G. Frank, and Secretary Christy Peel. For the Madison Alliance Addressing Substance Abuse for 3-year terms through December 31st, 2027, Lisa Ellis, Resident Representative, Diane Fastigi, an at-large member, Adam Wrights, at-large member, and Audra Tornio, Coordinator DNAI. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, John F. Forte, Council Liaison. To the Municipal Audit Committee, a 3-year term through December 31st, 2027, David Luber, regular member, and for a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Rachel Ehrlich, Council Liaison.
I move approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Right. Will Mr. Alampoutis please make the following announcement?
Thank you, Mayor. Open Space, Recreation, and Historic Preservation Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2027, Oshry Bailey, regular. Unexpired 3-year term through December 31st, 2026, Corrine Murphy, regular. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Debbie Mantone, Parks Advisory Committee Rep. George Limbach, Planning Board Rep. Mitchell Horn, Recreation Committee Rep. Brian Monahan, Shade Tree and Management Board Representative. Corrine Bowen, Environmental Commission Rep. Tyler Merson, Historic Preservation Committee Rep. Mayor Robert Conley, ex officio, and Melissa Honohan is the Council Liaison. For the Parks Advisory Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Rebecca Bertrand, Thomas Crimmins, Debbie Mantone, Dan O'Brien, John Taylor, Jeffrey Thomas, and Carrie Tierney. And Eric Range is the Council Liaison. The Patriotic Celebrations Committee, very important committee. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Ron DiBiase, James Emaus, Peter R. Fleming Sr., Thomas Granado, Wayne Henderson, Ann Lawless, Thomas Mattias, Michael Piano, Victor Shoemaker, Joseph Nestor, and Robert Landrigan is the Council Liaison. Thank you.
I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Ms. Honohan, will you please make the following appointments?
Thank you, Mayor. Recreation Advisory Committee, 1-year term through December 31st, 2025. Stephanie Burke, Little League Baseball Rep. Robert Welter, Softball. Nino Coviello, Football Rep. Zach Ellis, ex officio Recreation Director. Megan Garrity, Field Hockey Rep. Edward Hushon, Ice Hockey Rep. Christopher Holland, Basketball Rep. Bob McAnano, Soccer Club Rep. Tom Packey, Wrestling Rep. Aaron Tremonda, Girls Lacrosse. Brian Dwyer, Boys Lacrosse. Sean Polk, ADA PPEC Rep. Mitchell Horn, at large, Board of Education Rep. And Tom Harlan-Poutis is Council Liaison. For the Safety Committee, 1-year terms through December 31st, 2025, Borough Administrator, Borough Engineer, CFO, Electric Utility Superintendent, Fire Chief, Health Officer, Madison Chatham Joint Meetings Superintendent, Police Chief, Personnel Director, Recreation Director, Director of Public Works, and Robert Landrigan as council liaison. For the Shade Tree Management Board, 5-year term through December 31st, 2029, Nancy Bruce, regular, George Limbach, regular, Robin Trinan, regular. Unexpired 5-year term through December 31st, 2026, Bridget Daly, Alt 1. Unexpired 5-year term through December 31st, 2025, Elizabeth Fontaine, Alt 2, with a 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Eric Range as council liaison.
I move the approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Forte, please make the announcement of the following appointments.
Thank you, Mayor. For the Sustainable Madison Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2027, Kathleen Cacavalli, Chair, regular member. Pam Hogan, regular member. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Board of Education representative, and then Deanna Schmidt, Environmental Commission representative, Robert Duffy, Director of Public Works, Eric P. Range, Council Liaison. To the Utilities Advisory Committee, 3-year term through December 31st, 2027, Alan Sawyer, regular, James Leary, regular. 1-year term through December 31st, 2025, Thomas Harlan-Putis, Council Liaison. For the Zoning Board of Adjustment, 4-year term through December 31st, 2028, Adrian Novak, regular. Unexpired 4-year term through December 31st, 2025, Matthew Salko, regular. Unexpired 2-year term through December 31st, 2025, Nishan Mahbubani, alternate number 1. 2-year term through December 31st, 2026, Deborah Cohen, alternate number 2.
I move approval of the foregoing appointments.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Before we go to next, I do have to make a correction in the mayor's appointments to the Environmental Commission that do not require council approval. Colette Kreskis should have been appointed to as alternate number 2, unexpired term through December 31st, 2025, and Stephen Stockert as a associate member. I move on to communications. Any communications? Sorry.
None received, Mayor.
Thank you. And now we move on to invitations for public comment. Anyone in the public wishing to comment, please step forward. We ask that you try to keep your comments to 3 minutes, but we do give you a 1-minute grace period in the spirit of the new year, or we did it last year too. And we will cut you off at 4 minutes. Anyone wishing to comment, please step forward. Seeing none, I close this part of the meeting. We now move on to consent agenda resolutions. Will the clerk please read the statement?
Consent agenda resolutions will be enacted with a single motion. Any resolution requiring expenditure is supported by a certification of availability of funds. Any resolution requiring discussion will be removed from the consent agenda. All resolutions will be reflected in full in the minutes.
Mayor, I move adoption of resolutions R1-2025 through R39-2025.
Second.
Any discussion? Tom?
Thank you, Mayor. I have a question, a comment about Resolution 12-2025. This is a resolution that sets interest rates on delinquent taxes. This might have been here the last couple of years. It's not something new, Jim, but I didn't notice it, so shame on me for not bringing it up before. What it says for the public that doesn't have a copy of this is that any delinquent taxes in the Borough of Madison shall be billed at 8% annually on the first $1,500, and then any amount in excess of that, of $1,500, the interest rate will jump to 18% annually. So my comment and observation is just maybe this lacks a little sensitivity as to why somebody's not paying their taxes. We all know that there's some issues nationally, maybe locally too. I'm not sure what the situation, and it doesn't say here, and there was probably some more detail, that it starts on day 1 or after 30 days. So I think it's a little excessive, personally, for people in our own town, because I know that we make money when we have money in the bank from collecting our taxes, but we don't make this much. So to be asking the residents to pay this much, and it could be coming from commercial tenants too. I don't know if we can separate that out, but I just think that it's something that doesn't seem very consistent with us being sensitive, like I said, or cognizant of the reasons that people are a little late in paying their taxes. I don't know what the rate is, but it's
Our CFO could probably fill in some details, but statutorily, from the state, you have to charge, as we give the reminder that you have the grace period at each quarter, and if you miss that grace period, we can't even waive it because it is by state statute. The other is, we are floating the money because very little of this money stays with us. Most of it's going to the Board of Education and then to the county. So in a way, for the delinquent taxpayer, the rest of the taxpayers of Madison are floating the loan because we have sent that money on.
Sure, but in all fairness, Mayor, we have money because we have a reserve for uncollected taxes. That's taxes collected from us to keep it in reserve. I just think the amount is a lot, and I don't know when it starts. You said after the first period. I'm not really sure what that detail means.
Mayor, there's a 10-day grace period for each quarterly property tax payment that's not paid on time, so people have 10 extra days to make their payment, which are due February 1st, May 1st, August 1st, November 1st. This resolution just mirrors the state requirement. It's a statutory requirement imposed on towns to charge these figures, so the discussion really should be at the state legislature, not here. And the state wants to have a scheme that's uniform for all 564 towns, so they don't want individual towns setting different rates per town. So they standardize it by adopting a state statute that mandates these charges at these interest points.
Oh, so this is a state?
So yeah.
That was a question that...
Yep, so this is a formality that we have this resolution, but it is required by the state.
Okay, Mayor. Thanks for answering that and clarifying it.
Any other discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Ms. Ehrlich?
Yes.
Mr. Landrigan?
Yes.
Mr. Range?
Yes.
Mr. Harlan Pudis?
Yes.
Ms. Honohan?
Yes.
Mr. Forte?
Yes.
And Mr. Forte,
Mayor, I move to adjourn.
all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all. Thank you all for coming out.
Oh, that was the
and
quickest
Great
meeting.
start to a new year.